Okay, so we never know there's going to be a problem
All right,
to.
we got to start the intro. I
Ah,
can't start it.
okay, well, good thing that's the last time we're using it. So we are a little late because the reason we're a little late is because we never know Facebook and Restream are going to have a little tiff until we actually hit the go live button, and then it says, "Oh, no, we've got a problem here. We need to address this right this very minute." So yeah, we fixed it. We're here.
Mary said words.
Yeah, good thing I wasn't live because yeah.
Mary said words beginning with the letter F for fabulous.
Okay.
It was not.
Fantastic.
He did not say fabulous at all. It was much
Fun.
shorter than that.
Frenzy.
No, it wasn't funny. They're a little longer than that one.
Okay. So
It was much more like this one. It was closer to fork.
Yes, it was very similar to fork.
It was very similar to fork. And it just, wow.
Well,
Yeah, she just threw that right out there too.
Yeah, because I know I'm not live.
She said that on speakerphone in front of Tina
Davis.
Tina Davis, who runs the Rocky Mountain Expo. And I thought she was going to laugh for the next half an hour.
Yeah.
Because
okay, I hear Mary swear more than the general audience, and every time she does, I laugh because it's like hearing your grandmother swear. You know,
wow, what's the implication there, Mary?
Yes.
No, it's the people that never swear, and then they come out with something, and it's like, well, what? You're innocent. You can't say things like that. You're pure soul. You can't even say things like that.
my own blessed mother may have dropped the bomb today because she was getting frustrated and couldn't find something. And I don't cuss in front of her.
Well, you know what? It was finally on my way home from Rocky Mountain, which, yeah, I'm sure everybody has heard about the whole airline meltdown. But I finally get home. I'm in my car. I'm about to go to the highway. And damn, if the highway wasn't backed up before the highway.
I feel kind of bad because I got home with no issues whatsoever. I just got on my planes and then I was home.
Yeah. I was like, okay, bye. And then we get the thing, I'm home. And
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We had no idea that in the next 12 hours, the world
if
was
they were ever going to get home again.
Again.
Yeah.
You know, and I went on vacation right from there. Went on vacation with my grandson. He came out here, and then we went to Georgia. And I usually check bags because I can. Why am I going to be hauling around a suitcase, walking onto the plane? I don't do that. But I did it when I went down to Georgia to see my daughter because I was not taking a chance with I don't know how much luggage was still unclaimed or didn't know where it was, you know what? I'm just going to take a little carry-on bag. We're going to call it a day. If it don't fit in the
Right.
carry-on bag, then you know what? Oh well. So
Yeah, that makes sense. I couldn't believe you were willing to get on a plane again.
yeah,
But
and
I
That was
so
a
mean,
little
at least you're
impressive.
with family.
a couple
So,
days later, I was like, you know what? I have faith in Delta, Chris.
well, I'm glad one of
It's
us
like
does
that.
because
It's like
Yeah.
that chemical that makes you forget birth, so you'll have another baby.
Apparently.
It's like that.
Hey, Michelle, welcome to Catching Us Live. We still have not, which is good. We're 12 minutes in. We haven't actually gotten to the topic we want to discuss. But
No, that's okay. And I'm laughing because I'm looking at the contact. I'm looking at the topic and I'm thinking, because I did a lot of errands today and because of where one of the errands was, I had a piece of candy right before we went on. And in about 45 minutes, we'll see. It was a piece of fun adult candy.
Oh, yeah.
That was
okay, well, you know what? I
oh,
forgot to make dinner, so Chris, we'll wrap this up before
okay.
we get too silly. Or after that, we'll wrap it up, but we may still keep you on.
All by yourself, just la la.
Just
I vote for
hi.
that. I vote for that one. I want to see Chris silly. I'm just saying.
All right. So before we get into the actual topic, I do want to make mention. So, what for a trade show? And a trade show is not vacation. I mean, if you're using trade show for vacations, probably not the best use of your time. The only exception I would say to that is like the reason Denise isn't here is because she's going on an extended vacation. So she had all her family come into Colorado Springs, and then they were going to do a. Fortunately for her, they were driving, so they flew in before the problems, and they rented a car, and they were going on an extended trip with the entire family. All right. Yes, that's a vacation. Okay.
It was
But
really nice. Sorry.
what was that?
I was going to say it was really nice to meet her boys. They're
Yes.
really
Yeah.
smart, very sweet, good-natured kids.
Mm-hmm.
It was really nice to meet them.
It really was. So came here. My grandson first spent a couple of days here in Washington, and then we both got back on a plane to head out to Georgia, where my other daughter was there with her two other kids and another daughter who was pregnant for her baby shower. All right, and you know what? We did a lot of things. We went a lot of places, and you know what? I'm tired.
I'll bet.
Mary,
So here's the thing. Coming back from vacation and going to work is not the smartest thing either. Okay. You really need a day. So today, and honestly and truly, I don't have that because we're going right out to Super Zoo in a couple of weeks. And so I need to get back ahead of my things so that I can go to Super Zoo and not have to worry about the things on my to-do list.
literally in 2 weeks, we'll be in Vegas.
We'll be back on the plane in Vegas. Um, and that's no work ever gets done there. I'm just looking really sorry. I don't think I ever made the intention to actually
I did.
work.
I did.
Yeah,
I did
no,
once.
no. Not going to happen. All right. But I scheduled stupid things to do today. The things on my to do list that just, had to get done, but they weren't vitally important. And if it took me in between playing games and getting this Pooh Bear right there, I know. Ooh, so
Sorry, that makes me laugh every time. It's just like
You
little
can't,
head.
you can't tell him I'm going away in 2 weeks. He's already been traumatized. Yes, Brianna, it is so important to take time to decompress, especially for traveling, especially when there's aggravation with traveling. So,
Well, Angie, I was complaining to Angie Monday. I still don't know what day it is. Yesterday morning. I thought I broke myself. I thought I broke because when I made my travel plans, we've been having enough of these discussions that I actually I actually did it right this time. I was going to get home Monday night and I took Tuesday and Wednesday off. I took them off. I was going to have one day solid at home, sleeping, and then back to work on Thursday. But that's not what wound up happening. What wound up happening was a flight was canceled and then delayed. So I didn't get home until Wednesday noon. And then I got to Alec, come here. Stop being a doofus. And then I got to go to a birthday party Wednesday evening, and then back to work on Thursday. Groomed for 3 days, then drove for an hour and taught a pet tech class for 5 hours on Sunday. Which, if my travel plans had been what I planned, it should have been fine. It would have been a little crazy, but within the realm of, I thought I broke myself. By noon on Monday, I was still like, I can't move. I don't understand why everything hurts and I can't move.
Okay. And here's the thing. So you all know that an escalator tried to kill me. And I was telling Chris the other day, I will never complain about being fat again. Okay? Because apparently I have a layer of bubble wrap around me because I noticed a lot of bruises in places. So,
you killed Angie. First I was broken, then recovered. Now Angie is dead.
Yeah, she did look like she was
like,
mauled by a mildly disturbed bear. There
Well,
were
my
gouges,
daughter-
there
my
were
daughter-
scratches, there were bruises.
and I'm
look,
really
I
hoping-
gave her my first aid kit. I'm just like, here, do whatever you gotta do.
Yeah,
Give
it was
back
it was
before you
bad.
leave.
It was bad. Yeah, it was
was
more than
bad.
just contusions.
Like,
Now,
my first aid kit is like well stocked, and it's my travel first aid kit, so it pretty much it covers everything.
Yeah, she has some really good stuff in there. So anyway, I will never complain again about being fat. And I was really glad I wasn't like thin or anything like that because
You'd have broke bones.
I would have broken bones. I would never have made it to Rocky Mountain.
Right.
No, you would have broken, like, seriously, like a leg, an arm. It was bad.
She could have broken her hip, like no joke.
Yeah.
No joke.
So
Yeah, if
was
you were
terrible.
old, you would have broken bones, like numbers of them.
all right, so let's actually get to our topic. We still have a couple minutes left. Okay, so Angie,
Yes.
what's the difference between cleaning and disinfecting? Let's start there.
Okay. Cleaning removes dirt and grime. So when you have eyeball booger snot in your clipper, when you have a bit of dingleberry that didn't come off in the bath or that they just shot out after the bath, and you have that smear on your clipper blade, that's cleaning. Disinfecting is what happens after you get the smear off the clipper blade.
No, Angie,
The table.
schmear is food. I can't. I can't. Sorry, go ahead. I'll shut up.
It's no, it's not.
No,
It's very different things, Chris.
yes, I know, but you put a little schmear, a little cream cheese on your bagel, just a little schmear. So
right.
I'm used to hearing it in that context.
Schmutz.
Schmutz.
Moving along.
We go with schmutz.
Holy cow!
All right. Whatever. No, I don't think you could say that. Stuff. How about that? So stuff. Okay. So disinfecting is after you get the stuff off your clipper blade, the poo, the whatever, boogers, things. So after you've removed that, then you disinfect. Sorry. Michelle made me snort. She said, I'll never look at a bagel the same way again. um, so after you get that stuff off, then you disinfect, which means you're killing germs, which is very different from cleaning. Does not kill germs. It kills some germs, but largely not a lot. So cleaning is like soap and water, vinegar and water. While vinegar does have some disinfectant properties, it is not appropriate for a grooming salon because in order for it to kill Pseudomonas, which is the goop inside your shampoo bottles, it needs a 20-minute contact time. 20 minutes. And people are just like putting the vinegar and water in, smushing it around and going, wee, and then emptying it out. That's not cutting it. Bleach and water, 10 minutes. 10% bleach, water, 10 minutes. Done. On your clipper blades, a spritzy of alcohol doesn't do jack all other than dry out and eat your blades because it causes microabrasions in your clipper blade that eat your blade. So what you're doing is you're spending money to dull and ruin your clipper blades, which I don't really understand. Don't do that. And I know you hear that. There are folks that will tell you, oh, I do. And I've done this for years. Yes. There are people that will flagellate themselves with a cat of nine tails, and they've done it for years, and it works fine for them. However, I don't recommend it to most people.
Right. Just on that, I've done it for years. So growing up, I used to cross, for those who know, in Yonkers, used to run across the Sawmill Parkway because it was a shortcut to get to the A&P.
That is a good way to die.
Yes, it was a good way to die, and I didn't. Okay. But so the point being, just because you've been doing something forever and nothing's happened doesn't mean you're not doing something like running across the Sawmill Parkway because it's shorter to get to the store. Okay.
So,
and besides that, and before that, I had to cross the train tracks and then cross the Sawmill Parkway. Yes, Amy, dumb ways to die.
Mary, it's a miracle you're here sometimes.
Angie, I never did that. That's one I never did. I know I'm usually the one giving you strokes.
Okay, so
usually yes, and I actually use you in my class.
Yeah.
On personal safety. And I'm sure there were people, I told people to feel free to go to the booth and discuss the issue with you. I was like, go over, because we'll be there. So, yeah.
And the point being, just because you got lucky doesn't mean engaging in behavior that is damaging or dangerous will not come back and cause a problem. They had to put up a fence up on the bridge because it was one of those old stone bridges, and it was the stones were like wide enough to walk across, which I was never that stupid to do. But
It was
teenage.
probably because of the smush people that tried to cross it the other way.
But teenagers being teenagers, and teenagers will always find a way to be stupid and try to kill themselves. I don't care. You can tell me, I'm in my 60s. I've lived through a lot of teenage stupidity. Okay. And teenage stupidity is teenage stupidity. So you got all up in arms about the Tide Pods, but we never did anything like that. Yeah.
Oh, we did dumber stuff, I'm
We
sure.
did.
Way worse stuff.
Listen,
Yeah.
social media
They
just
were-
wasn't around to record the dumb shit we did.
Yeah,
Right.
there's no recording of the dumb shit I
Don't play like we didn't do dumb shit when we were teenagers.
Right.
Oh, no, absolutely did. Absolutely did. I mean, I was riding in the back of a pickup truck, standing up, hands in the air.
Like waving them like you just don't care.
Yeah.
Stood up
Going
out of a
70
moonroof.
miles an hour, because what could possibly go wrong? Anything? Everything?
Okay. Yeah. So maybe we stop incriminating ourselves with stupid shit that we did growing up. Okay.
Let's get back to the contact times. Okay.
I
So,
didn't do any
next
stupid
thing-
shit growing up. I was an
Let me get
angel.
back to that.
You
So,
can't prove otherwise.
10% bleach, correct?
Yes. For
Not
10
100,
minutes.
but not 100% bleach.
No, not 100% bleach. And never mix bleach with anything at all of any kind except water. That's it.
Shall I
Not
read? Shall I?
'Cause I-
Mixing vinegar and bleach together releases a poisonous chlorine gas, which can be fatal if inhaled at high enough concentrations. Hold on. When pine sol, which contains surfactants, is mixed with bleach, a chemical reaction occurs. This reaction releases toxic chlorine gas into the air. Chlorine gas, even in small amounts, can cause a range of health issues, from eye and skin irritation to severe respiratory problems, and other cases, death. Carry
Yeah.
on.
So don't mix bleach with anything but water. When you're disinfecting your blades, notice the difference of the word. I did not say cleaning, I said disinfecting. When you are disinfecting your blades, you want to use H42 for blades that you're going to use with dogs. Okay. You're not going to use, or you can use, what's the other one? Redip.
Yeah.
One. So you want to use a disinfectant viricidal, okay? But you're not going to use these with cats, because going back to, I know you guys have heard me say this so many times, tolerance and toxicity. So cats are so sensitive. We do not know what their tolerance or their toxicity is. We do not know what they're exposed to in the home. Because they are so sensitive, we don't want to be the one to push them over the edge. So you are going to use
Where's that coming from?
for cats and bunnies, chlorhexidine for cats and bunnies, because it dries. And if you're concerned about residue, because they are self-groomers, what you put on a cat, you put in a cat.
Yeah, they're absorbent. It's not that they're sensitive; it's that they're absorbent.
And I learned something today.
I actually like that phrase,
Kitty.
cats are absorbent.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like this.
Mm-hmm.
They suck up stuff.
And you have to be very careful with the ingredient list, because I called a company today because we had questions, because this particular brand of the chlorhexidine solution contains citric acid. And then I found it on another website where it wasn't listed in their ingredients. And I'm like, awesome. Did they change their formula?
Possible.
No, they did not.
And they didn't list it.
Wait. It was an inactive ingredient. They considered it an inactive ingredient. So I don't know where it's listed on there, if it's listed on their product, but it was not on the website picture that I was looking at.
Right.
So you have to check, because it could be an inactive ingredient that they may or may not have to list, because it has nothing to do with the function of the product. But I'm not putting something with citric acid in it, or orange oil, citrus oil. I'm not
Which
putting
is
any
even
of
worse,
that.
because it's concentrated oil out of the skin of
Yes.
orange. And you have to understand that they don't have to give you a list. They can give you a fake list. They can give you a list of ingredients that's not even ever in the bottle ever.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just so unregulated.
Now, if you use Bimeda, that's Bimeda, they do not put citric acid in their chlorhexidine. I know this because I called the company and said, look, I'm going to be using this as a disinfectant for cat and rabbit blades. This other brand has citric acid in it. And they said, we don't use citric acid in ours. And I said, ever? And they said, no. And I said, fabulous. And they said, would you like to place an order? And I said, yes, I would. Give me $6. So for cats and bunnies, chlorhexidine and I just wipe them off after they've sat, because contact time, I spray them down. I let it sit like 5-10 minutes, and then 5 minutes contact time. But the reality of it is, I'm vacuuming the floor, and I may not get to it for 10. So contact time minimum 5 minutes. It's okay if you do it at 10. Wipe it off. You do not dilute chlorhexidine. It comes already diluted.
Correct.
What
Ready
else?
to use, if you will.
Yeah,
Now,
ready to use.
if you are using it to run through your recirculating bathing system,
5 minute contact time. So you're going to use it through your recirc after every dog, and you're going to hose down your whole tub. And now, here's the thing: chlorhexidine does not kill ringworm. If you have ringworm concerns, you're going to want to use 256. So in your recirculator. But if you use 256, you are going to want to flush that with water for no less than 5 minutes. But you should be using one or the other after every single pet, every single time, every single day, because in that recirculator is skin, it is fecal components, it is bacterium from the shampoo, it is sludgy goop. And Ashley Henry and I have had major discussions, because she was doing, has a class on recirculators, because she's mobile. And how do you clean recirculators? And she said, I said, "Oh, I've got a recirc I've had for 25 years. And she said, I would love to see pictures of it. And I said, okay, well, it's being used right now, but I'll take a picture as soon as it's done. After it was done, I took the whole thing apart, and it was like, and I'm like, I'm sorry, there's fuzz in it. But it was, I haven't cleaned it. I literally just grabbed it out of the tub and took pictures. And she said, that's fine. This was just used. And I said, yeah. And she said, and it's 25 years old. And I said, yeah. And she said, where's the gunk? And I said, there's no gunk. It gets cleaned after every single pet, every single time, every single day for 25 years. Because, sorry, mosquitoes, because I don't want to spread goo from one pet to another pet, because we're putting this in their target areas that are going to spread. So you have the nose and mouth, their bum, their penis. And these are the areas that are going to spread disease, your zoonotic hotspots. And she's like, that's the cleanest recirculator I've ever seen. That's crazy. But my tub, after 7 years, didn't have a dot of mold in it at any time ever, because at the end of the day, every single day, it would get squeegeed down. You go to the dollar store, get a squeegee the whole tub, smush it all down the drain, and then you take a towel and you wipe all the itty bitty teeny weeny little remnants out. That tub should be so dry, it should be like the Colorado air that made my nose. Because let me tell you, that air was the driest air. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness,
it's
my nose
pretty
was
dry.
bleeding like a booger the entire time. It was so bad. It was just like, okay, I'd wake up every morning with a nosebleed. I couldn't wait to get back to Massachusetts, where we have air you have to chew to breathe. So that was lovely. I was like, oh, I'm home. Nom, nom, nom. This is so
I can't guarantee, though, Angie, and this is my issue with recirculators, not mixers, but recirculators, especially if you're doing therapeutics. There are a handful of people in this world that are capable of that kind of commitment for cleaning each and every time that it gets used. I
There were
just don't
7
know.
people in my salon that had no problem doing that every
But
single time.
you're in charge of that. You and I both know that stuff gets busy, and the normal general population of groomers just aren't going to do that. They're just not.
If you look at the sludge that is created in like when Ashley sent me pictures of what a normal recirculator that she sees comes in. I have a very strong stomach. For those that know me, I'm like, I once took a course and it was about autopsies. And so, and I was in the front row and I was eating lunch, no issues at all. But I was like,
Yeah, and that's exactly what I mean. Only a
so
handful of people are capable of that kind of OCD like commitment to cleaning those every time after each and every bath.
every single person should be doing this.
I
See,
agree.
this is why I do salon sanitation consults.
So
Um,
there's two things about that, and what I think we need to do in terms of education and in terms of getting people to do that is first go, all right, take it apart, look at the sludge, think of where that's been. And every time you want to not clean it or it'll be fine this time, go, do I want to take a bath in this? Do I want this to be my jacuzzi and have all of this soaking into my orifices?
but you are, because your hands are in
in
it.
it. Not only
You're
that, those
literally
of us who drank out of a
absorbing
garden hose
all of
growing
that
up,
crap.
I
It's
think you should be clean enough
splashing in
to
your
take a drink
face.
out of.
It's on your body. It's on your hands and your arms.
Yes. And Michelle, to answer your question, yes, the manufacturer is working on if they don't currently, they're working on recommending Angie's
Ashley
method.
has already set it up with
Yes.
Hanvey.
Yeah.
She's got that. That's a done deal.
That's done. Oh, and
Um,
you didn't tell the best part of that story about the autopsy. So Angie is taking a class and she's sitting in the front row with her partner because they just came off shift. So they're like, they're watching this. So the person presenting the class stopped and went, "Are you okay? I think you should step outside for a moment." And they're, because, front row, they don't know what's going on. They're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. They said it would be okay if we ate. Are we disturbing people?" And he goes, "Turn around."
Every
The entire rest of the class stepped outside because the pictures were too much for them. And now they're watching these two people eat through pictures that they can't sit through. And
good salad.
they're out in the hall going, "Are they a sociopath? Like, are there
yes,
something?"
indeed they are.
They're
Yes.
profiling them. This is other law enforcement that are now profiling their betters, going, they're not their betters, they're coworkers, they're
I like
comrades.
betters, but okay, we'll go with
Well,
coworkers.
betters, because you got your better stomach going on anyway. So they're now in the back going, questioning all of their life decisions and thinking that there is many things wrong with you.
Yeah. And we were just like, yeah, well, that's the thing, is both of us at that point, we had been on the job for quite some time. And a lot of the people that were in the class were fairly new, couple years maybe. And so we missed lunch because we were on a call. It was a car accident. It was bad. And so we didn't get to eat. It was just like, meh, eat later, deal with mess now. And then we got off shift and it's like, okay, we're going to grab some food. We can't grab food. We got the class. Oh, geez. All right, grab the food on the way. We'll eat it when we get to class. And we got in there and we asked the sergeant, we're like, we haven't had a break. I had like one break to go pee during the day. Please, can we eat, drink? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. And he's like, you guys do realize this is an autopsy class, right? And we're like, yeah, whatever. Need food badly, very tired.
We will be the autopsy.
Yeah. So if you don't let me eat, you will be doing the autopsy on me. And so we just sat down and we were chowing. And we had a little charcuterie that we picked up at the supermarket. We got a pizza. Yeah, it was just like, and when we turned around, there was a class of 60 people, and we turned around and realized we were the only ones there.
Okay, so I guess on that note,
Oh, back to the contact times. All right, I'm going to reread.
After
Okay.
you perform an autopsy, you'll want to clean that and then disinfect it.
Yes, absolutely will. Okay.
Now,
so,
Angie, after
yeah.
you've taken after you've taken the autopsy class and you're either new on the job or for whatever reason you got dragged there as a layperson, what is the correct dilution ratio for the eyedropper for your bleach for your eyeballs to eye bleach that out of your what's that
No,
dilution ratio for
do not
bleach?
put bleach in your eyeballs at any time. Do not inject, do not apply bleach. There is no we just call that what you wish you could erase from your brain, but you never will, because you're gonna be getting up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and going, oh yeah, there's that.
And seeing all that stuff again anyway next shift.
Right. We call that Tuesday.
Right.
So, all right. Darn mosquitoes. Okay. So alcohol has a 10-minute contact time. 10 minutes. 10, 10, 10. That means the evaporation time for alcohol is 1 to 2 minutes, which means what? Your evaporative time is shorter than your contact time, right? So
the more alcohol it is, the less contact time you have because it evaporates faster.
Exactly. So if you got 90% alcohol, you have an evaporative time of maybe a minute. And that's
about 30 seconds.
Yeah. So, and then if you have 70% alcohol, you're lucky to hit 2 minutes. But you need it to be in there for 10 minutes. So that means you have to submerge it. You do not submerge metal in alcohol because metal is eaten by alcohol. It causes microabrasions, which is why at the vet, when they submerge the surge packs before they autoclave them, they go through them to look for rust. And the rusty ones, they set aside to be replaced because rust breeds bacteria and yada, yada. So alcohol is So now, and that goes for your table as well. You need to douse your table for 10 minutes in order for it to be disinfected. So you'd have to just stand there like some kind of weirdo, spraying it over and over and over and over and over. For what? You know how costly that would be when you can just use 256? That doesn't even make sense. I have not seen, Michelle asked, have I seen the movie Nicolas Cage, Gone in 60 Seconds, where the guy puts a sandwich on the body? Yeah, I mean, coroners are a breed all their own. So that really wouldn't surprise me.
You remember that, was it for the show from back in the day, was Quincy MD or ME?
Yes.
About
I wanted to be a coroner as a child. I thought that would be the best job because you get to speak for those who can't speak for themselves anymore.
Yeah.
So I was a weird kid. I'm a weirder adult.
Uh-uh.
All right. So accelerated hydrogen peroxide, 10 minutes for kennel cough, listeria, salmonella. And here's the thing. They are unsure if it is effective against giardia. So if you have a dog that has explosive diarrhea and may have giardia, accelerated hydrogen peroxide is not what you want to clean it with. You want to go with a quat, 256 of whatever brand, type, kind, it doesn't matter. 256 for giardia. All right. Chlorine compounds. So that's 10% bleach for 10 minutes. And it is metal corrosive because of the water. It eats metal. Regular hydrogen peroxide, 5-minute contact time. Again, evaporation, less than contact time. So unless you're submerging and it is metal corrosive. So you see the pattern here? These are not workable in general. And then there's quats, which, depending upon which one, has a 5 or 10-minute contact time. You have to read your label. So it depends on your quat. It depends on the brand. There's
No.
so Kennel Sol, 256, they're all quats. It's all basically different companies making the same thing. So highly recommend them. They are great for floors. They are great for crates. I'm going to beg you to. All right, I'm just going to throw this out here. Now, who can tell me how many sides of a crate you want to clean? Now, and I mean, how many sides of a crate you want to clean after a dog comes out of that crate before the next dog comes in?
6.
Which 6?
Are
Everything
you
on the inside that the dog has touched.
are
The
you
ceiling, the
including
back, the floor, the sides, and the door.
the door? Are you
The
including the
door.
tops? Are you including the tops and bottoms of the
Yes.
grate if there's a grate in there? So then it's
Oh, yeah,
1,
fair. We
2,
don't use
3,
grates.
4, 5,
Yeah,
6.
I know. I've never
7?
used grates in my crates, so
Right.
so
Okay.
we'll say 6. And the reason I ask is because I ask this every class, and every time I say the door, people go because they've never cleaned the door. Because
never
when you're
occurred to them.
in a crate, the door is behind you, so you clean and you wipe, and then you shut the door and you go to the next one. But you never clean the door, which is the area they're facing and going, ha, 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 ha.
All over the door.
All these little air droplets and respiratory droplets all
And they
over
wipe
the
their butt
door.
on them. They do all the things.
Yeah. So that door must be cleaned. The area on the floor in front of that cage bank is filled with barky respiratory droplets. We all became respiratory droplet professionals when COVID-19 came around. We all knew. And prior to that, when I would say that, people would go, huh? But now everybody's like, oh, yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
They bark. Drops, hit the ground. That area in front of that, because you're walking in it, you're spreading it wherever it goes. Wipe that area of the floor with your quat. It's quick, it's easy, takes a minute, good to go. And that's also why you don't want to be wearing your salon shoes in your house, because you're walking through all those respiratory droplets for all of those pets and then bringing it home to what may be, if you have elderly or infirm pets or immune deficient pets. Salon shoes for salon, other shoes or leave them in your garage or
That
where,
goes for clothes too. People
yes,
don't
it is
realize their clothes
as well.
are
But
nasty.
I mean, don't wear your salon clothes in your home. Come home, change, put your jammies on at 2:00 in the afternoon if you get out early, because you should. It's good for you, for your mental health and your comfort. Jammies are the best. Jammies are the best. They're the
Yes.
best thing ever. So yes, put your jammies on, kick back, relax, grab yourself a soda, and all is well.
Okay. So we wrapping up now?
We got the weird facts, and this week's weird
Oh,
fact
wait.
is
Angie's Weekly Weird Fact.
so pigeons are the oldest domesticated bird species. They were critical in the postal system and the creation of it. The ancient Egyptians revered them, and pigeons could fly at 77 miles an hour.
Angie's Weekly Weird Fact.
That introduced pigeons to the park systems, and now we're the ones complaining that we created the pigeons in the park system. We call them rats, flying rats, and things like this. They were put there to attract people to the parks. They are a domesticated animal, just like a dog or a cat. we created these birds to live in those parks, and now they're getting dumped on because they're so dirty. Well, yes, if you had a bunch of feral dogs running around pooping everywhere, of course, because we stopped caring for the birds that we put in the park. So next time you see a pigeon in a park, feel free to throw them a little bird seed, crackers, something like that, and give them a little something to say thank you, because if it wasn't for the pigeons and the squirrels, people would not have approved of the national park systems.
Yeah.
And Pedro says they're government robots spying on us. Well,
Pedro, first of all, you're a government robot spying on us. And I know that because you paid me $12 to say that. Anyway, sorry.
I could see that. I'm just saying.
$12.
But that was thank you to Michelle, who sent me down the pigeon rabbit hole, because it had been some time since I had visited my weird pigeon facts. And I remember learning about the pigeons and the parks a very long time ago. And I was like, oh, I got to do deep dive on this again. So
I feel the same way. I feel the same way. And they're not necessarily domesticated, but every animal that's considered a pariah because they go around trash heaps or this, that, and the other, we're the dirty ones. Those like seagulls, seaboard animals, they're meant to clean up our environment. But we have so overloaded them as a species that we think now they're just, trash rats. They're really not. They're performing their function. It's part of loving our planet and loving our earth and loving other species for doing their job. They're doing the best they can. We're the dirty ones, I think, collectively.
Well, if you go to New York and you go to Central Park, you'll see a number of banded pigeons there that were just used to be used by someone and were pitched out. Mm-hmm. And now they live in the park to survive.
Yeah. It's sad.
So it is. It sucks. It's like seeing a bunch of pugs living in the park because somebody didn't want them anymore.
Right. It's like dropping off dogs.
Yeah, that's crappy. So be nice to pigeons. Love the pigeons. Don't be mean to pigeons. And that is the end of my love pigeons rant. Okay. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
All right. So will we be back next week? Why? Yes, we will.
Yes, but probably not the week after.
The week after? Well, I won't. You won't.
I won't.
Mike Tyson loves pigeons.
Mike Tyson loves pigeons.
I don't really know. I don't follow him.
He keeps pigeons in there. His love. He loves pigeons.
Does he?
Yeah, he has a whole roost on the top of his building. He loves them. Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. So we will see everybody next week.